Hi, this is Chris Reddick with Chris Reddick Financial Planning. In this blog post, I talk about the problems with the TSP and investment options and my solutions. Okay, so what I do is I talk about what currently exists in the TSP and some possible solutions. So we know the TSP, it's great. It's simple, low cost, passive investing, easy to use life cycle funds. There's a lot of great things with the TSP, right? For most investors, the life cycle fund is what is a good option, and actually that's the default option if you enroll in the TSP. Okay, so what does the life cycle do? It targets your retirement date, and then contributions that you make and matching funds go into that life cycle. And typically, the life cycle fund is goes by different ages of when you're going to retire, so it becomes more conservative, meaning more bond and fixed income heavy by the time you approach retirement. So there's the G and F fund, so has this glide path where it becomes more conservative as you approach retirement. So that's how a life cycle works. So it mirrors your retirement date. Okay, so most life cycle funds typically have a combination of 90% stocks and 10% bonds. All right, but it really depends. If you look closely at the TSP life cycle funds, the 2060 and the 2065, it actually has less than 1% of GNF funds. Okay, so most life cycle funds have about 10% in bonds, but the 2060 and 65 have less than 1%, but the 2050 have 17%. So there's like different combinations. So I don't think that's necessarily bad, but you should kind of be aware of what's in there in these life cycle funds, how they have different combinations of stocks and bonds, and they become more conservative as you approach retirement. All right, but actually, when someone gets close to retirement, the more common portfolio is what's called a balanced portfolio. All right, this is actually the most common, and most of the research out there in retirement income planning talks about a balanced portfolio. And when we think of a balanced portfolio, it's typically 60% stocks and 40% bonds or fixed income. Okay, so it's called a 60-40 portfolio. So most investing in retirement is based on this type of 60-40 mix. And then you would use this 4% withdrawal rate on a balanced fund, and the idea is that would be a sustainable retirement. But the interesting thing is that the TSP doesn't have any static portfolio. So it doesn't have a growth portfolio, it doesn't have a balanced portfolio. Okay, it does have an income portfolio, right? Those are the three combinations: balanced, income, and growth. So it does have an income, okay? But it doesn't have a balance and doesn't have a growth. These are called static portfolios, and these are actually great. And a lot of other brokerages offer these type of static portfolios, which they have the same allocation. They rebalance typically once a year back to the target allocations. So if for example, the income portfolio in the TSP has 70% F and G, so almost all is bonds and only 25% fixed income. So that's not even near a balanced portfolio. So that's one of my pet peeves, I guess, with the TSP, is that it doesn't offer these static portfolios like a balanced in a growth portfolio, which would be great for those who just want the same portfolio, have the same risk level throughout their life. So someone may want a growth portfolio in their retirement, right? But you would have to actually design yourself. So what is the solution? What the solution is, basically you have to design a portfolio yourself based on the 5 underlying TSP funds, right? So you have C for S&P 500, I for international, and then you have F for fixed income bonds, and then G, and then S for small cap stocks. So these combinations you'd have to come up with to design a portfolio. So you can always talk to a financial advisor, or you can look online for other resources to kind of come up with a portfolio. Okay, so that's just I think the TSP is a great option, but that's one of the criticism. It doesn't have these static portfolios that many plans retirees use. Okay, have a great day. Reach out if I can be of service.